I just like this one better. I just wish that it wasn't rushed, and it had the opportunity. It had the potential to progress properly. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Ohemaa MaMokowa, aka Queen MaMokowa, and today I'm doing something I haven't done in a really long time, which is a movie battle. So the movies that I'm going to be talking about today are Acrimony and a Madea family funeral. So in case you don't know, both of these are Tyler Perry movies. Now, are they good? That's why I do this movie battle. I recently watched both of them because I was just curious. I had seen things about Acrimony on Twitter and pertaining to Madea family funeral. I was just curious because it was the last movie that Madea was going to be in. I'm not a big Madea fan, but I was just curious because I have watched a few of them. And also, of course, the people who voted, thank you, because they also helped me with this decision. So we're gonna start on talking about Acrimony because that's the one that I watched first. And actually, that's the one that came out first. So, Acrimony is pretty much, Acrimony stars Queen Taraji Henson. And it starts off with her, and I'm going to try to make this really brief. It starts with her in the therapist's office, and she's talking about he took everything away from me. Just things of that nature. And we get a backstory of what happened, like how they met and how her life was, things like that. So pretty much, Taraji's character, Melinda, she ends up meeting Robert. They're having, cutesy little dates at the library and things of that nature. They do become boyfriend and girlfriend. He cheats on her. She finds out that he cheated on her. She rams the car into the trailer because I believe he stayed in the trailer. Actually, they did become boyfriend and girlfriend. And unfortunately, her mom did pass. So when her mom passed, she left a lot of money behind. She left the house and then she left a lot of money for Melinda and her sisters so that they could split it. And I think the girl got a lot of money. I'm not gonna even try to give the figure, but she got a lot of money. Her and her sisters. So, during the funeral, or maybe it was during the repast, she was like, I just want to be away from here. They wanted to keep her away from him because I think at this time he had already cheated on her, caused her to get in the hospital and everything. And they go in the trailer and they're listening to some Nina, and he pretty much deflowers her. So now, some way somehow he ends up being broke, so he's unable to take care of his tuition. And he tells her, how does he know that she might be able to help him? Because she opened her mouth. She was young. So she opened her mouth and she told him, my mom left me money, this and that. So it was like any little thing he would ask, he'd be like, hey Melinda, I have this problem. And Melinda helped him. Melinda paid for his tuition. The whole thing with the battery, Melinda helped him with that too. If you watch the movie, there's this theme of the battery. The battery. Ambition is great, but don't be so ambitious that you decide that you want to be so lackadaisical and not do any work. Like, don't be lazy. So pretty much they do end up getting married. She didn't have any of her family. She didn't have her sisters or her sisters' husbands. Nobody like that was there. They get married. Do the problems stop there? No. Because at this point, she's the one that has to really, really work hard, or chooses to work very hard because they're at risk of losing the house. So she was working multiple jobs. What is Robert doing? Working on this battery. He put all his time into the battery. And she would confront him about it, but still, he's like, the battery, I gotta get this battery to work. so that, it can get, so that someone can buy it and I can get money, or just so that I can get into the engineering field because he was an engineer. He's an engineer. Fast forward to, I think he ends up being like a cook or something. And I guess Melinda, she was able to talk her family into allowing him to, be part of the family business, because they like, something about like mail routing, like they would drop parcels off, things like that. Kind of like a UPS, but family oriented. So on that day, he had to choose between, delivering a very important package, because if the package wasn't delivered, it could result in the loss of that account, which was one of their really big accounts, or an interview with the company that he really wanted to work with, and, potentially bring him more money, more benefits, and possibly help him and Melinda. The crazy thing is that Diana was the girl that he cheated on Melinda with. She actually ended up working for that company. So she was able to pull some strings and help get him the interview. So he decided, you know what? I want to work for this company. This is what's more important to me. So he completely disregards the route that he's supposed to take. So as you can tell, or as you can probably figure, they lose that account. They lose that very important account. Family is mad, and Melinda is like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. You're the reason why this house is about to be foreclosed. You're the reason why. Just no. So she kicks him out, and he's just like, Melinda, baby, please. Melinda, baby, please. Melinda, baby, please. No! You were so invested in this battery that you didn't even want to get a job. It took us almost to this house for you to say, you know what? Actually, I am going to try. What ended up happening is, of course, he ends up staying in a shelter. He ends up, somehow, I believe he ended up staying with Diana. They weren't involved at this time, and he ended up staying with Diana. I guess Diana wanted to help him. He actually was able to sell the battery because I guess they wanted to just have him sell his rights over. So it would just be like a one-time payment, or it was going to be like a small amount. But he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I believe initially the offer was like $10 million. They came back and they were like, okay, we'll give you 50. So I guess for all of the troubles that he put Melinda through, he decided, I'm going to break her off like a fifth, like $10 million. Which is understandable because he put her through a lot of emotional turmoil, mental turmoil, so it made sense. But was that enough? No, because he had made some promises to her and he wasn't able to fulfill those promises. So I'm guessing they were supposed to meet up. Like, she had even gone on some dates and stuff, but I guess because of that gesture, so she was like, you know what? I should be able to get some more things that you promised me. And Melinda ends up meeting Diana, and she has this look on her face like, what? Because like I guess she had like some lingerie underneath her coat, because I guess she thought this was them possibly being able to get back together. But I was like, no, this is my fiance. And she lost it. And this isn't even being funny, but she was doing a whole bunch of dances. She was like Facebook stalking, like she really needed help. Now, around this time, was she getting therapy? Don't know, but she really needed help, and I think even her family knew that she needed help, but she just really wanted Robert. Fast forward, she finds out that Robert and Diana are getting married. They get married, they end up on the boat, and Melinda pretty much cusses her family out. Finds, one of the windows in the house, jumps out. Next thing you know, she's on the boat. She's on the ship with a gun. Don't know where she found found the gun, but with the gun. So she gets on the boat. She tells everybody, she tells the whole crew to get off. What? Okay. They get off. We don't even see them, so we don't know if they landed on a boat. We don't know if they just ended up drowning in the sea. All we know is that they just jumped off aboard. And then she asks Diana to jump off board. She does that too. So now it's just her and Robert. So she actually shot Robert. Next thing you know, she got a mallet. I'm like, where did this come from? Next thing you know, her foot gets caught up in the chain and she's pulled down and she ends up beneath the sea. Yeah. So, we'll come back to that one later. Now, a Madea family funeral. Once again, that is another Tyler Perry movie. Now, with this one, Tyler Perry is actually in it, and all 5, 6, 7 million other characters that he played, they're in it too. This one came out 2019, I believe. Like March 2019, I want to say. Goodness gracious, this was a mess. So the whole family, they end up coming together. I feel like they came to, I'm honestly not sure why they came together, but they all came together. And, you know, almost immediately you can sense that there is some scandal, there's some animosity. Now, some of the people who are in the film, you have Courtney Burrell. He's not the star of the movie, but he's one of the people in the movie. If you ever watched Chef Julian, he was in that. You have Punk from I Love New York. He's in that. You have a whole bunch of like IG social media people. They're in there too. And like I already mentioned, you have Tyler Perry in the movie as well. So this was all over the place. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. This one was all over the place. So you have the man and the woman. Oh, right. I feel like they came together to celebrate the anniversary. I could be wrong. But anyway, the man and the woman, they are, you know, they're so in love, having a good time. Next thing you know, he tells the wife that I guess he's going to the mall and he'll meet up with her later. So he actually was cheating on her. And one of his sons, he was also cheating with his brother's wife. They were both messing around. They end up at the same hotel. I guess, you know, the woman rocked his world so hard, the dad, that he ends up dying. And you know, as he dies with, you know, a pent-up tent, if you will. Like a pent-up tent. And she was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And after his son has finished doing whatever he was doing with his sister-in-law, mind you, they hear the voices sound familiar. So they go in the next room and he's like, oh my goodness, what are y'all doing? What's going on? Obviously at this point it was too late. The dad had passed and they tried to cover up the story along the way. Some way, somehow, Madea and her friends, they end up getting pulled over by the police. I'm still not quite sure what the relevance of that was. I guess they wanted to showcase, you know, what goes on, you know, racial profiling. I guess that's what they were trying to show, but it just didn't work in that scene. So it was like, was this a comedy or was this a drama? Because it wasn't funny to me. So, you know, it's one of those things where it was like, the guy was like, well, you know, I'm going to tell my brother about what we're doing because the brother is clueless about what's going on. And it's just a lot of that going back and forth, you know, messing around with this one, messing around with that one, Madea finding out, you know, that that's what's going on, all the secrets. The funeral does finally happen, but it was kind of ridiculous. Like a whole bunch of unnecessary people were just in there, you know, like Joanne the scammer was in there, don't even know what the relation she had to the family. I don't even know what her relation to the family was, but she was in there and a whole bunch of other IG people. And it seemed slapstick in a way because, they kept trying to like shut down his again, pent up tent, and it just wouldn't shut. And I feel like they just spent too much time on like I feel like they just spent too much time on that. Like that just seems really unnecessary. And of course they had the repass, and I believe this is where it came out about some of the things that were going on, or people could kind of sniff out what was going on. And I believe the mom was saying something about the fact that she did know about what was going on, or she didn't seem surprised, honestly. How does it end in true Tyler Perry fashion? She ends up being whisked away by some light-skinned man. That's how the movie ended. Now, that wasn't me saying I have anything against light-skinned people. I don't. My husband is peanut butter, and I love him for it. But now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of both movies. So, honestly, Acrimony had the potential to be a good movie. And I know there are some people that are like, oh my goodness, but Acrimony is a good movie, blah, 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 blah. It started off with some potential. It was obvious that they used green screen, and it had potential. And then not even halfway through, it just turned into a mess. Because I'm like, Taraji is a great actress. They had a few other good actors and actresses in the movie, but it was just, I don't know, the storyline was so and it's so unfortunate because there are quite a lot of Tyler Perry films that are like that. So yes, he gives black people work, but if you're giving lackluster movies, so yeah, Acrimony had potential to be a really good movie. The music was pretty good. Nina Simone, the music was pretty good. But it just seemed, like over dramatization, the obvious use of green screen. It's like you couldn't even make it a little bit more realistic. The ending was nonsensical. Yeah, so that's what I have for Acrimony. Now, when it comes to a Madea family funeral, I don't know if that one had the potential to actually be good, to be honest. Like, that one from the get-go, I was like, what is this? But I was curious. I wanted to watch it. It was the last time that, Madea was going to be in, allegedly. So I was like, sure, I want to check it out. I want to see what it's going to be about, because I did think that Madea was going to pass. I thought she was going to be the one to pass. But again, when I heard that was going to be the last movie involving Madea, I thought maybe this movie will actually go out with a bang. It didn't go out with the bang that it was probably supposed to go out with. The storyline didn't flow. I will say with this one, if they did use the green screen, it wasn't as obvious, and they used better use of the green screen if it was used, but I don't think it was. To be honest, I don't even remember the soundtrack of that movie, to be honest. I think the whole time I was just confused, like, is this real? Is this really a movie? So, if I had to pick, because again, one had a better chance of actually being probably one of Tyler Perry's best movies in a while, and one of them, it didn't look like there was a possibility of that happening. Sometimes it pays to take time when working on movies. Oh, why are you rushing through movies? What's the point? You have the resources to put out quality movies. He has put out a couple of movies that I really like. So we know Tyler Perry has the potential. Hire more black writers. You don't have to write all your movies. You can produce, you can be the EP, you can be the director. You don't have to be the jack of all trades because, or even if you choose to write, co-write, have other people do it too. Have other, you know what? He probably doesn't feel that he needs other people to look over his work because at the end of the day, it's Tyler Perry's such and such. Tyler Perry's Acrimony. Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral. At the end of the day, his name is what's on it. But you do a good job of putting a lot of black people in your movies. Why not give them the opportunity to write, to bring fresh ideas? Because, hate to say, but some of these Tyler Perry movies are predictable. Now, he's not the only person. Other people do predictable movies. Some people, or actually it's a lot of people, but again, I'm talking about 2 movies that Tyler Perry produced, directed, wrote, and what have you. With that being said, the one that I enjoyed more, even though I wasn't sure what this one was, but I understood this one better, even though it doesn't seem like he took mental health seriously. This one felt more like a drama, whereas the other one, it was just wishy-washy all over the place. I'm going to give it to Acrimony. Yep, Acrimony is the one. Acrimony is the one that's going to win this battle because I enjoyed it more. It had the potential to be one of Tyler Perry's best movies in a while or period. It had a better soundtrack. I just liked this one better. I just wish that it wasn't rushed. And it had the potential to progress properly. So I'm going to give it to Acrimony. Now, if you want to watch both of these movies, hey, go right ahead. That's what I did, and that's how I decided that, maybe they should have a movie battle. And like I said before, the people who voted, they helped me to make that choice. So yes, the one that wins the movie battle is Acrimony. So yes, thanks so much for watching. Again, if you haven't seen Acrimony or A Madea Family Funeral and you want to check it out, I believe that they are both on Hulu right now. So as usual, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you will be notified whenever I have a new upload. And as always, mesdames, be optimistic and keep on moving no matter what. Stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, social distance.